Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. This is my podcast. Appreciate you being here this week. First and foremost, if you are a new listener to the podcast, welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. Quick breakdown of what I'll Call You Right Back is a little show that I've been running for the last 8 years where I invite the movers and the shakers of the city of Pittsburgh into my basement to tell me all about their life's work. And whenever I say the movers and the shakers, I'm talking about creatives, business owners, entrepreneurs, chefs, radio show hosts, comedians, funeral directors, beekeepers, photographers, rappers, Rachel Ann Bouvier, Edgar Snyder, Sally Wiggin. I've done my due diligence to seek out the people in Pittsburgh that are adding value to our city. And I've been fortunate enough to sit down with people and talk with them at length in my basement. And it is a beautiful thing. As someone who likes to shop local and patronize the great businesses we have in our city, I found myself being curious about the origins of these places that I love, whether it is Pittsburgh Candle or, Revival Print Shop or Commonwealth Press. I go to these places and I start to wonder how they were built. And the only way that I could realistically bother the owner of these businesses was by creating this podcast and, kind of creating a situation where I could get them in and bother them for 2 hours with questions about their lives. Because if you think about it, let's say I ran into Dan from Commonwealth Press at a bar. It would be kind of odd for me to just bother him for an hour and 40 minutes, just berating him about how he built Commonwealth Press. So I created this podcast, and it is a way for me to be able to do that. It's a way for me to be able to invite Edgar Snyder into my home and learn about how he got the viral, you don't get paid, or we don't get paid unless we get money for you. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it. If this is your first time listening, obviously my guest this week, Jon Bindley, is someone who is in the city doing great things. So if he is what brought you here, I appreciate it. And I hope you take some time to look back in the phone book and names of the people that I've had on, because it is a big list. 8 years, 314 people, and there is no end in sight. A couple more things to get to before we get to the episode. I am a reader in the city. I host a book club called Yinz Should Read This at a local bookstore called Woolly Bear Books in Carnegie. My next meeting is going to be Thursday, December 18th, and we will be discussing King Sorrow by Joe Hill. Again, this is a book club that kind of specializes in horror and thriller and fantasy, because I am just I'm a reading fan, and I wanted to create a book club so I could have a community of people to talk about the things that I'm reading. So we've been going for about 5 months now. We have a great group of 15 to 20 people that meet with us every month, and you are more than welcome to come and enjoy our time together. If you're someone that likes reading books, you could find more information at Yinz Should Read This on Instagram, and DM me. I'll add you to the mailing list. But December 18th, Thursday, 6:30 p.m., Woolly Bear Books in Carnegie. Come by. Even if you didn't read King Sorrow, come by, because we vote on the next month's book, and you could kind of hop on the train and be part of Yinz Should Read This book club, the coolest book club in the city. And now, the reason that everyone is here this week we sit down with a great guest, a wonderful guy that is doing great things in the city of Pittsburgh. Jon Bindley is a Pittsburgher born and bred, but he is a musician, he is a writer, he is an artist, he is a honky tonk man, and on top of being the front man of Bindley Hardware Co., which is a band throughout the city of Pittsburgh who has been performing for a long time. Bindley Hardware has been around. But Jon also runs these little events in the city called the Honky Tonk. And whenever I say these little events, I kind of say that lightly because they're bangers. Jon puts on these events with this star-studded stage full of just incredible musicians, and they all get together for these honky tonks and they throw a hell of a party. 412 Step is a group that teaches people line dancing there. There's always live music, there's always drink specials, there's always a hell of a playlist, and Jon is the ringleader, and he is he's pretty damn good at it. So I have him in here and we talk all about the honky tonk because this week is Thanksgiving. Thursday's Thanksgiving. Friday is obviously Black Friday. And, Friday is also the next honky tonk. So it's Spirit Lounge from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. You could go and you can experience a honky tonk. I'm going to be in the building. I'm excited about it. Hopefully I'm going to learn how to line dance. But Jon got a hell of a show planned to shake away the Thanksgiving blues. And, if you're interested, if that sounds like something that you're vibing with, come down to Spirit Lounge at 7 p.m. on Friday and, come and party with us. It's going to be a great time. Last thing I have to say before I leave Yinz, like I said, Thursday, Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday. I hope you enjoy your good food. But Friday for Black Friday and then Small Business Saturday, if I could say anything to you guys, there's all these places in the city of Pittsburgh that do incredible things. They provide gifts, they provide tangible goods, and there are options in the city besides Amazon, besides these big bullshit things like going to the mall. Like, who the fuck wants to go to the mall on Black Friday? That sounds like a nightmare. So if you're planning on shopping Friday and getting some Christmas presents done, please, I urge you, look at some of the local places we have around the city. Some of my favorites, just off the top of my head, if you're a reader, Beyond Bedtime Books in Dormont, an absolutely incredible bookstore. Woolly Bear Books is an incredible bookstore. Beyond Bedtime Books, they sell used and curated books. If you're a Stephen King fan, the absolute best selection of Stephen King in the city. If you're looking for other bookstores, that sells new books and retail things, Woolly Bear Books is my other spot that I usually love to go to. On top of that, you got places like Pittsburgh Candle down in Troy Hill. You got Zed's in the South Side. You got Monarch Vintage over in Etna area. You got, gift cards galore. Run down and grab your boy something from Streets. Grab a gift card from Streets on Carson. Grab someone a gift card from Badamos. Grab someone a gift card from, Itame Sushi over in Mount Lebanon. There's all these places that we got around the city. Try to do some shopping within our city and keep cultivating the culture that we have in here. Fuck Amazon. Say it one more time. But I appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the episode. I'm excited to, have had Jon in here and listen to a little bit about how he became the guy he is today. So without further ado, episode 314 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Jon Bindley of Bindley Hardware Co. and Honky Tonk Pittsburgh.
Use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back. Call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. But small world. So you grew up, you're from around here, huh?
Yeah, I grew up in, my parents split, so I split time between Forest Hills and Greenfield. My dad's family was in Greenfield, so, I was running the streets of, Point Breeze and Greenfield and Shenley Park and all that.
Yeah.
And I know you always do your research. I'm interested to see what you
I got
found out about me, but there is, some funny stuff out there.
I don't really know necessarily anything about your criminal history or anything
that. Yeah, not criminal history so much as I
say that lightly.
I'll just say, and we can save it for the pod, but there were several times where I'd be in police situations and the only other person with me would be Mac Miller. Malcolm and I were really good friends.
Yeah.
Growing up, so just like that era of like, remember what you used to have, so you're my exact age. Remember what you used to have to do to like get weed?
Oh yeah.
Like, it was insane.
Yeah, it's insane now because you could walk through Target and kids are just like hitting weed pens.
Yeah,
but
you're
like we were like ducking around.
Yeah, sure, I'll get in this car with this guy. I'll drive to the fucking trap house.
100%. Driving into West Elizabeth, just like, throw it on the ground. I'll step on it and I'll throw the money. Just like it was a ridiculous time because now it's just like everyone got these weed pens.
It's not fun anymore though, Like,
I know it takes away all the all like the you're doing
it's part of the thrill.
100%.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're same age. I didn't really know too much about you until I try to often think about like how I come across people, and I think that the first time I seen you was I don't know if it was through Tad's social media or were you like affiliated with the other podcast, Anybody Can Do This show? Did you do something with them?
Oh yeah, Nick is a good friend. I grew up with Nick.
Okay, yeah. So like I think I saw him post your stuff maybe back then.
Nick's a good guy.
And then I just kind of followed along with that. With like your trajectory. I mean, like I saw that I didn't know that you did music.
Oh, really?
For a while. Like I was like, I saw your social media with, Tad. And for people that are listening, it's like Tad and you like put out these like unreal skits.
Yeah.
Like
we have a lot of fun. He's like the type of dude, I feel like we didn't go to school together. But you just think about that friend that you just could not be next to. Yeah. Like the teachers would just not fucking allow you to be like, you can't, no, you cannot be. And he and I just have that kind of, we know what the other one's thinking, and then it turns into this like one-upman's thing. Like he's, not that I think I'm the funniest guy in the world, but I'm trying to keep up with him. You guys remind me of like the two dudes, Colin and whoever from Whose Line Is It Is Anyway. Yeah. It's like you kind of have that same like, he's like, you guys are both punchy in your own way, but I started seeing these like viral skits going. Yeah. And then I started to see that you were, that you did Bindley Hardware. Sure. And then it kind of all started to like, come back to it, because I think that's originally how Nick started sharing your stuff where I saw it was Bindley Hardware. And then, fast forward like a handful of years, I know that we talked like probably last year about doing an episode, but I was just like maxed out with shit. Dude, I totally understand. You've had some great guests. A lot of friends of mine have been like from the country music scene. I've been seeing a lot of buds on here. Yeah. So I love that you're shining a light on that. It's having, there's guys doing it locally, but guys also doing it all over the world and all over the country now, which is just awesome. Yeah, it's cool to see. It's weird to see because like, I still feel like a kid kind of. No, me too. Like, people are like, I still feel like, we're just all trying to do some shit, but people are just doing shit. Yeah. And it's just like, And I mean, in my experience, having been around people that, are getting to these crazy levels, that's how it is. It's like they're just doing their thing. I love it. And then lightning in a bottle. And there's sometimes, it has to do with talent. It has to do with hard work, and it also has to do with timing. Yeah, timing. And that's like everything. I was just going to say, it's all about like, and that's really what the origin of the podcast is like, kind of the, all of that interweaved into a conversation, because people work hard. Every single person that I've had on here has been fucking grinding their entire lives. Yeah. And like, they come on this podcast to talk about like their life's work. Yeah. And it's hard to like sum it up, but, these people don't often have like a opportunity to do that. Like I bring up like Dianoias all the time as like an episode, because like me and my wife were eating dinner there, and I was just like, I just want to know how a place like this starts. Yeah. And I reached out to Dave, and he came on, and like just hearing those like stories, keeps kind of that fire fed to, there's so many people in Pittsburgh that are just like doing incredible things. 100%. And when you realize that whether it's like music or events, any multimedia thing, like somebody had to will that into existence. There's a million reasons and all kinds of forces working against people from doing cool shit. Like, the world doesn't need another song, right? Yeah. There's plenty of stuff out there. You have to kind of almost have that sense of like, well, I'm just going to do it anyway. You got to have that, just go for it.
Yeah, we're just like living in this world of saturation.
Yeah.
So it's like starting anything now, you're just like, people that are just like starting a podcast now, it's like there's literally millions of them. So it's like,
do it
tough.
anyway.
Yeah, but why not? That's why you got to start it, is because like, you just do it and then, see how some shit shakes.
All the way, man.
But so, I mean, you've been a musician for a long time?
Yeah. So I, to take it way back to the beginning, my first time ever on stage, I had an uncle, a guy that was married to my dad's sister, Uncle Ron. He was a guitar player, and he was more sort of on the jazz scene, and he used to pal around with Joe Negri. For those that don't know, Handyman Negri from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Oh. And so Joe Negri, he would do these shows like for kids, and I kind of always had that like, I guess I was sort of like a ham as a kid, and so I'm at this thing, and I guess I asked for the microphone or something like that, and I sang "Achy Breaky Heart" with Joe Negri backing me up.
Like, how old are you?
Like 3. Yeah, there's a picture of it, and I think ever since then it was kind of just like seeing Elvis on TV, seeing Johnny Cash, always gravitating towards something to that, like. And then you get older and it's like, having a band is like having like a gang of friends.
100%.
I played sports, I did all that stuff growing up, and it was, for me, like, I was a mediocre athlete, an elite trash talker, but a mediocre athlete, and I was very much kept playing because I loved the camaraderie and like the social aspect, and to this day that's like a huge thing. That's what I love about, getting a group of musicians together and playing and having a band. It's like, friendships get harder with age. And to me, I have like a lot of vibrant and am constantly making new friends because I'm staying, hungry and engaged in this moving forward way,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I completely agree with the camaraderie around it, because like I really don't care about sports. Like it's like I'm probably the minority. It's like I don't watch the Steelers.
Yeah.
I just don't watch anything. I played football my entire
Your mental
life.
health is probably better. The Steelers lately have been putting us through it.
Well, it's like that's why I played football, though. It's like just the being with the group with everyone. But like, I have these opportunities to talk to these like, musicians that come in here that are in these bands, and like it's cool to hear about those, like, that feeling.
Yeah.
Like you said, relationships and friendships get harder, but like, I don't know, like having something to work on together while you're like, transitioning through that like friendship is like, I feel like that would probably be a benefit.
It gives you like something to do, right? Like the utility of we're working for this show, or we're working on this recording, and just thinking about music as like a way of life, and just the amount of people and the relationships that I've found through it. I mean, there's a million reasons not, like we're saying, there's a million reasons not to do it, but to live your life, that way has been extremely rewarding for me. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, it was just, then it was, trying to get together with your friends and play Green Day, Weezer songs at school dance.
So, I mean, like middle school, you're playing music and stuff like that. When do you pick up an instrument?
So
let me pull this back just a sec.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I was really good friends with this kid named Jimmy, and Jimmy was always talking about getting a drum set, but he like never did. He was the drummer in our band. And then there was this other kid named Malcolm, who Malcolm's older brother played guitar, and Malcolm played guitar. And I can literally remember like in the early days being in Malcolm's basement with Jimmy, and like it was like a very early days of like you could go online to like a shirt making website and like make a shirt. So we had no songs. Jimmy didn't even have a drum kit yet. And we were like making shirts for our band. And
what was it called?
Man, I don't even, we were always fighting too. That was the other thing, we could never agree on anything. I don't.
So you were putting it together, and you were like ordering these shirts cart before the horse.
We never ordered them. We were just like, what about this? Like a stupid band name, and it'd be like, no, I don't like that. And it was just like, and then just trying to find anybody to like, who has a basement, who has a thing, trying to start bands, and then dabbling in it with groups of friends through high school, and kind of then getting serious in college.
You're playing instruments?
Playing guitar.
Okay, yeah.
But I always kind of had this like hustle mentality too, of like, I was in my circle of friends, in my little world, I was one of the only ones that was like either willing or had figured out like LimeWire early. So I would like burn CDs for people, and people would like look to me as like, just make me something good. Yeah. And I enjoyed the like trying to figure out, well, what do people want to hear? Yeah,
mixtape.
Yeah, I used to love doing that. Like, I loved the service of that. Like, people trusting you, trusting your taste, and being like, put me on like some good shit, Jon.
Spoiled right now, because like back then, it's like, I still have my CD book in my car right now, because I still have a beater, and I still have a CD player. But dude, that was like one of the amazing moments of your life, dude. Is like downloading music and like downloading enough songs to fit on one mix. Oh, and man.
If you liked a girl and you made her a CD, that's like the highest honor.
Yeah.
If you thinking about every track.
Yeah, that's
in
cool.
order and all that. So yeah. And then,
what do you think you're going to be doing as a career, like coming up out of high school?
Dude, I don't think I had much of a, I always liked to write. I was in touch with writing and literature, and I had like a strong sense. That was just what I excelled at naturally in school. Math and all that shit, forget about it. Just having that sense of, I feel like I have a creative slant on things that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so, I don't really, I shuffled through. I went to Duquesne.
For what?
English. Was an English major. Just read a ton, played in a couple bands. And then towards the latter half of my college experience, I started hanging with guys that were a little bit older than me in bands. And were
you playing music like in college?
Oh yeah, playing, gigging in the South Side.
Okay.
Mostly. Recording a bunch. A good friend of mine, I ended up joining this band with a guy named Jesse Hall. It was called Bear Cub, and he was writing a lot of songs and recording with his dad, and he moved to Nashville and moved down there with a bunch of guys. And about 6 months to a year later, I followed down there and joined up with the band.
This is 2011?
Yeah, 2012. Yeah, 2011, 2012. And then was down in Nashville for like 3 years. I played in that band and made some records down in Nashville myself. And
like, was this like a full-time gig, like music?
Yeah, I tried to make it my full-time job.
Yeah.
Which was really tough. And that was kind of like my, the world is cold and tough. Your early 20s can be really hard. If you go to college or even if you don't, just like, you're kind of out there, 22, 23, and you're figuring out life stuff in a way.
What year did Three Rivers come out?
So that was written during that period, recorded during that period. Yeah, I was like, I think that was 2013. So I was homesick in Nashville. And I remember hearing there's a Jason Isbell song where he's like, something through the Alabama pines. And I was just like, okay, Alabama has pine trees. And I was like homesick. I'm like, maybe I'll write a song about home. And I wrote Three Rivers, and like that was one of those ones was just like one night.
Poured out of you.
Dude, it was and
it's a really good song.
Thanks, man. And I'm really proud of it. Like even as a standalone, when I look at the words, I'm like, that holds up.
Yeah, you have like a line. It's makes me sick that I can't remember it because I was singing it all morning, but it was like, getting the work done.
Yeah, the people live and the work gets done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's really what it is. The people live and the work gets done.
Yeah, dude. Pittsburgh, we love the blue collar thing. We wear that badge proudly.
Yeah, you have like an interesting lineage to the Bindley name as well.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of my research went. So, before we dive into the lineage of the Bindley name, so you're in Nashville, you're writing this music, and like, you're fully like, honed in on trying to make this a career.
Fully honed in, and simultaneously, the kid that I was in the basement with making the T-shirts with goes on to become Mac Miller. So I'm watching. So I am not having any financial or commercial success, and I'm watching my childhood friend become a generational.
I got a picture on my wall here.
Yeah. Great guy, you know. Rest in peace. A lot of great memories from 3 or 4 year period, but it was really hard for me. Not just because of that, but like I said, life kicks you in the nuts. You might, at that time, I had lost a few friends, and just was figuring out maybe this is going to be harder than I thought. I knew it was going to be hard, but I kind of didn't go down there with a whole lot of expectations. And it's tough. Nashville's an entertainment town, and I wasn't really ready for that. I was street smart to some degree, but I certainly wasn't entertainment industry smart.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure that's like jumping in the ocean with sharks.
Yeah, and you're like, ooh, how to making money, being creatively satisfied.
Yeah.
Am I,
getting scammed,
dude? Yeah, getting scammed. You go to Nashville, and it's also you're like, I suck, because everyone is so good, and it's everyone you talk to is like, yeah, what'd you come here for? Yeah, I worked at a Mexican restaurant.
Do you know the musician around here, Mike Medved?
I've crossed paths. I think on the wedding gig circuit, I might have been around. Yeah, he's one of the few guys that's taller than me.
Yeah, he's
with a guitar.
Absolutely insane. Was a baller in school too. But me and him went to high school together.
Oh, cool.
He was 4 years older. We're distantly related, but he had pretty much he said the same thing. He was like, I went down to Nashville to write, and you're like, those are where all the talent, all the best people in the world are down there.
Yeah, and you're just, I think it's a good thing in a lot of ways, right? It's that's how you figure out if you even want to do this at all.
Yeah, if you want to fight for that.
Yeah, and I had some great relationships down there, and you're kind of always, they used to say get your ticket and don't get out of line. The guy that produced Three Rivers, I turn around a year or two ago and I'm like, oh, he's on tour with Post Malone singing right now, and it's
that's wild.
People that are so talented, are waiting for their shot, and they keep at it, they keep working.
Yeah, one of the the insane things about social media is seeing all the random talent that is just unheard of.
Yeah.
Random people that with 10 likes on a video on TikTok just singing a cover of a Childers cover or something, and they're just fucking ripping it.
Yeah.
And you look at the comments, you're like, it's insane how many people have talent that are just undiscovered.
Right.
It's wild.
So it became I think I got to a place down there. I did a tour. I did a 3 or 4 week tour. It was the longest thing I ever did. And as I look back, I think what I was really looking for was that broader sense of community I didn't feel like I had, because so many of my friends were in touring bands. They would disappear, or people would be like, hey, I'm moving to Austin now, or I'm moving to LA. And you didn't meet a lot of people that were from Nashville. I just started to feel that drifting sensibility. And I think, a lot of people have to leave Pittsburgh to come back, find out how great it really is.
Yeah.
But as soon as I came back, I wasn't planning on staying. And then, after 3 years of being away, I was starting to feel fall in love with Pittsburgh again.
What is this, 2015?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you come back here, and what does your life look like at that time? You're playing music, and what kind of
trying
work
to gig, trying to put that was kind of when I started putting the Bindley Hardware Company together.
Okay.
Because any good aspiring artist, I'm Googling myself. I'd put some music out just under Jon Bindley. So I'm what are people saying? I'm Googling myself. I start seeing all these things about the hardware company pop up, and I'm what is this? I don't know anything about this. I call my grandma. She's like, yeah, my uncle worked for somebody at a hardware company, and but no one really knew anything in my family. And then I started digging, and it turned in. I wanted it to be oh, that's a sick band name, right? Because I'm saying, me, Jimmy, and Malcolm in the basement with these shirts, we could never come up with good band names. I had the worst band names coming up. And I'm this is the band name that was meant for me, right?
Yeah,
it's me and the hardware company, yeah. So I just wanted to make a 5-minute YouTube video about hey, here's a cool thing. And dude, we just kept finding out more and more stuff. I called my friend Jamie, who I had done some music videos with. I'm I think I need to make a documentary. I have no money. What do you think? and God bless him, for about 3 or 4 years, we just kind of chipped away at this thing. We worked a little bit with WQED and some of the producers there.
Really?
Yeah, they helped us take like an hour cut, and they were like, this needs to be 30 minutes. So we had to like cut so much out, a lot of my favorite parts, but for the better, to make it like digestible, because it just became this thing where it's like the more we found out, the more we're like, oh, we got to go down this.
Yeah, like give people, for people who are listening, like give people an abridged, sort of thing.
Yeah. So there was this guy. He's buried in Allegheny Cemetery. There's a big Bindley mausoleum there. He would be like my great 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 uncle, and all his direct heirs died. Kind of, I mean, statistically, that era. We're talking late 1800s into the turn of the 20th century, but they were, the country had all these kind of like, there wasn't Walmart, of course, there wasn't the Home Depot. You kind of had these like regional powerhouses of family-owned hardware stores, but also like wholesale, but also like home goods. Like you could buy a bike, you could buy rat traps, and there's all these beautiful illustrations in these handwritten catalogs that I was like finding on eBay, straight razors and all this stuff.
Yeah, like a real department store.
A real department store, but also they built this building right on the main line of the railroad. So if you're familiar with the Shadyside area, the place is now called Shadyside Commons.
1903.
Yeah. Luxury apartments. They built it in 1903. It was the brother of Jon Bindley, a guy named Albion Bindley. He designed it, and they had the loading docks. So this, ship nails, bolts, all that stuff. And,
wow.
This is the time when like Pittsburgh is just crushing it, financially and economically. And I think what's so amazing about it is like, this dude's in books in the library, and it's like, there's Carnegie at the top, there's Frick, there's like, I found a picture of him on a fishing boat with H.J. Hines, and I'm like,
that's dope.
I'm like, whether it's Joe Negri or Malcolm or whatever, like somebody wants to come at me for my Pittsburgh card ever, I'm gonna be like, there's my great ancestor with H.J. Hines in a big
That's
fish.
Unreal. Your family didn't know much about this?
Dude, knew nothing, right? So like that's my mom's side of the family, which like, and her mom, it's like mostly like Scotch, English, some Irish mixed in there. And then my dad's side is all Irish immigrants. So like the trail goes pretty cold, there. And because on the Bindley side, all his direct heirs like died like very young and didn't have children. So it was like nieces and nephews, and it just kind of,
wow.
Dissolved and was like lost to history.
Yeah, whenever I was researching you, this all popped up, and I was like, what the fuck?
It's crazy, man.
That's wild.
It really is, and it became a guiding inspiration, because we're talking about that, the work getting done and feeling like connected to like, oh, this is who I am, and
yeah,
it's part of at the same time it really speaks to how big of a deal Pittsburgh was, because like, this dude did well, but he wasn't at that Carnegie Frick, type of money.
Yeah.
But he was still up there. I think he was in the rooms sometimes. And you never really know. Like, he could have been a son of a bitch. I don't know. But
yeah, but the name is unreal.
And like the whole,
that's sick.
It seems to be what it stood for. There's a window of Calvary Church that he had commissioned. And, there's a lot of things that where I'm like, that kind of jives with me. The big time patron of the arts, and who knows what life was like back then.
Yeah, that's cool
for these guys, but
it's a cool history for sure.
The symbolism too. Yeah.
Are you just randomly named John?
So my great grandfather was named Jon Bindley Mercer, and so I was named after him.
Oh, okay.
My mom was like, you know what? I loved my great grandfather. That's why you're named him. I don't know. He maybe was named that.
Yeah.
Because somebody loved that other guy.
That's cool though. I mean, like, that's cool that, because like, I heard the name before, Bindley Hardware Co.
Yeah.
And like, I had no idea what that meant. I just thought it was a clever name.
Yeah.
And then I Google it, and I'm like, this is wild.
Shit was real.
Yeah. That's really cool to hear about that. And when did you find all that out? Like 2016 around then?
Yeah, it really coincided with when I was coming back to Pittsburgh.
That's so cool.
Because like I said, I had put some music out under my name, and I'm shamelessly Googling myself, and I'm finding more about the hardware.
It's a smart business move. Hey, it's a smart business.
Yeah,
you got to, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you come back here and, like, you know, what is, you know, what's your next move? Like, are you paying the bills playing music?
No, I got into like a lot of teaching and nonprofit work, some stuff that I'm still doing today. And I'm actually, most recently, I'm getting involved with a local, running a local handyman company.
Hell yeah.
So the tools and hard work thing just keep following me. Yeah. It was just pretty wild.
And I mean, like, you know, like, what do you mean you were a teacher? Like, what are you teaching?
Yeah. Teaching first through, a lot of like arts programs, a lot of like self-expression, creative writing,
cool.
Some radio stuff, some podcasting even, and then working for a couple different school districts and getting in. Yeah.
Like writing, like you're just like, I mean, do you write beyond music? Like,
yeah. And my grandmother always will be like, I think you use music as a distraction to not like really write. You know, she's always like telling me I need to like be writing books and stuff. But,
yeah, like, are you not does it not go to books?
I have some stuff that I'm like, I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, maybe this will be the year. I think I need to. I hope that I get the focus and the time to like put some time into that. You know, our world is not conducive to, especially with like the AI stuff nowadays. It's like,
I know, it's crazy.
Like, who would even read what I wrote, and like how does that even work anymore? You know, but that's like to what we were saying earlier. I should just do it.
You should just do it, for sure.
I should just do it. Yeah.
And you read a good bit?
I read a good bit, not as much as I used to. I got young kids, so if I'm reading, it's like if you give a mouse a cookie or some frog and toad. But yeah, I mean,
like, what did you enjoy reading coming up?
Oh man, so I got really into this guy named Thomas Wolfe in my early 20s. Not to be confused with like the white suit guy. He's great, Tom Wolfe. This guy was, he came up, born in 1900, died around 1938, 39. He wrote a book called You Can't Go Home Again, that I really loved. And he was, they actually made a movie about him with Jude Law and Colin Firth. It's called Genius, but their relationship as writer and editor. It's a good movie. Yeah, I really loved him. I'm still huge into John Steinbeck and a lot of the, you know, this early 20th century, mid 20th century.
I've been like
writers
pushing East of Eden. Like,
it's the best. Dude.
I know everyone. I know it's
epic.
I'm like a new reader, so like I just started reading, like, you know, probably like 2.5 years ago. Yeah. And I really just like fell in love with it. So
yeah, man.
But
it's dense. There's dense moments.
I know I mean, like, I'm getting through some dense shit.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, I'm reading some bricks for sure.
Yeah, dude. There's something to that though that reminds me of like I got into running sort of in my late 20s, and it's like running.
Yeah.
And there's something to delayed gratification, which our brains are not wired for anymore.
100%.
But I used to have this experience of like, man, I just slogged through 100 pages, but now I got to these 50.
Yeah.
And it's like, that Thomas Wolfe guy was like that, because he would write these 800-page books, dude, and I'd be reading this stuff, and some of it's like, you don't get the references, you're looking up words, like, these dudes were big into referencing, they knew their Greek and their Latin, and you're like, constantly like, I actually, like, do I owe it to, am I gonna like actually look up this reference, or am I just gonna keep rolling and pretend I didn't see that shit? But like, and I would do that, and then you get to that payoff.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean, like, I'm not reading any sort of like, you know, classic literature. Sure. I'm reading like, you know, The Stand, Stephen King and stuff like that. But these are like,
dude,
you know,
it all counts.
Over 1,000-page book. Yeah. And it's like, at first, whenever I started, I'm like, you know, there's just like 40 pages of description of just like external dialogue that I just didn't want to read. Yeah. But now it's like, I love it. Like, Stephen King's son, Joe Hill, I read all fiction books. Yeah. Nothing of use to me at all.
Yeah.
I'm just reading
I love a fiction book.
Messed up shit, dude, you know, weird ass shit. But he just came out with a book called King Sorrow. It's like 900 pages, and I'm just like, I can't stop reading it.
I love that,
It's about
man.
a fucking dragon that comes into the modern day times.
Okay.
It's just like, it's just wild shit. But, full circle though, you're a big reader and you're writing and stuff like that. And you're trying to like, you're teaching through that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how do you like come across, I know I know you're you sell real estate,
Yeah,
and
well,
hardware
try.
store. I mean, like, how does this all come into be? Is this just like, making some shit happen, or do you have interest in that?
I think I have I don't know if they call it like mania, but like I do have that, like, I got to keep moving thing. I try to, you got to try things,
dude.
See what sticks.
I asked this with no nothing pointed at you, because I'm the exact same way. Like, I just started doing like video and audio and shit like this, and like I just like try shit, because like, how do you know if you don't love it?
Dude, I love to hustle. I love to work hard. I love to like so like the Honky Tonk's a great example, because that boomerang comes back every month. We do that show every month, and like the guys laugh. Like, I'll try some stuff, and sometimes it'll just
how did this even come about? Like, so explain what the Honky Tonk is, and then I want to know like kind of the origin of it.
Yeah. So I guess on the timeline of like, I'm back and I'm making records with Bindley Hardware Company, and we're getting like some local love. We traveled a little bit regionally, a couple little tours, throughout the Northeast, and I'm really just focused all on original music, right? 2 or 3 years of doing that, and making new connections and restoring old ones, like in the Pittsburgh music scene. And I just got to this place where it felt like I had a great crew of musicians, and it was kind of fluid, to the point where I'm like, what would be cool, like if like we got like pieces of your band and pieces of your band, and we kind of made like a super band every month for country music, and we did it in the style of like the old Nashville honky tonks. Because truth be told, there's one spot, the American Legion down there, but I didn't get what I was really hoping to get in Nashville when it came to like that classic country sound and experience. And there's new stuff that I love. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I hate all this or I hate all that. Like, but as far as like that aesthetic and that vibe of like, you show up, it's a hardwood floor, it's beer, and it's that community, and like really centered around people dancing. Like, the people dancing is essential to it. So I'm like, I wonder if this could go off like in Pittsburgh. Could we do it? So we started doing them at the Northside Elks.
When did this happen?
2018 maybe.
Really, that long ago?
Yeah. So we started doing them at the Northside Elks 2018, and it from right away people started dancing, and we started to see it, and it started to get this momentum, and then just building from there. It's gone through 5 or 6 iterations at this point. A few folks in addition to myself have been there from the beginning, but it's changed a bunch. We moved the show to Bloomfield, and then to Lawrenceville, and now we kind of move it around, and it's just kind of a one-stop like place for it's for the musicians, but it's also for the community, and we play all the country hits from the old days up to today. Like I always say, if you like country music, there's something for you there. But the best compliment I get is when people are like, yo, I don't like country, but I love this event. We got our friends at 412 Step. They're an LGBTQ-centric two-step line dancing community. They teach.
Never heard of that in my life.
Dude, is awesome. And
412 Step.
412 Step.
They teach you how to line dance?
They teach you how to line dance. So at every show, they're there.
Oh, man.
And they teach, and, we've had hundreds of people like come and sing as guests, tons of locals, a few touring artists, and people.
How many people you got on
love it.
stage?
Anywhere from like 7 to 10 at a, sometimes it gets really big. Yeah. And, it's what I like about it is, some of these guys, like from the scene that are touring, you know, they'll come in and sit in. Like, did you have Amico on the show?
Yeah, Amico. I was just gonna say, I saw him originally from like, I swear to God that like, you know, there's people that are doing things in the city like yourself where it's like, I don't see it on Instagram. Yeah. It like doesn't come to my Instagram.
Dude, the algorithm's trying to keep us apart, and here we are.
It really does. But it'll show me shit from like October 2nd from like, you know, something completely random, like a tattoo shop in Cleveland. Yeah. And it's like, come on now. Yeah. But yeah, I see Amico sharing stuff.
Yeah. Reed will pop up.
Sky.
Yeah. All those guys.
Like, and they, I mean, like, it looks cool what it is. It looks very unique. Yeah. The last like few that you had, I know you just did one, yesterday or 2 days ago?
We did one for Halloween in Bloomfield, and then before that we were at Spirit in Lawrenceville. Yeah. And you know, I'm trying to make Pittsburgh a honky tonk town. Yeah. That's my goal. I want people to, you know, Nashville's great, Austin, okay. We're never going to like be that from a commercial standpoint, but I want people to like come here and be like, okay, you got to do the fries on a sandwich, you got to do permanis, you got to, and then like be like, and low key, like they have a killer honky tonk over there. Like sometimes I'll have people from like Oklahoma or Texas in the crowd, and they'll be like, "You're doing this right." Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
Let's go.
What is like, you know, like what's your origins of country music? Like when did you become a fan of country music? I feel like people scoff at it. You know,
they do.
They lie about it and they scoff at it.
I might have even been one. Like I said, like I liked rock and roll. I liked rap. Like, you know, my first recorded thing is me being on Malcolm's first mixtape, Easy Mac, but my Mac and ain't easy.
You're on that?
I'm on that. The very first one. He's got the bowls of mac and cheese.
Oh, I know what it is. But I've listened to it.
I'm track number 3.
My goodness. I'm going to have to go back and revisit that. I guarantee it's on my iPod right now.
That's sick. Yeah. I got the CD somewhere. He's wearing the Pitt jersey with the mac and cheese bowl.
Love it.
Yeah. So, but then, I don't know. There's like a gateway drug, I think, for everybody. And I think there's something deep to me is like my dad's parents were from Ireland. And like, so something about a fiddle always grabbed me. And something about like, you know, Irish music and country music, it's really just kind of like different accents.
Once removed.
Yeah, but it's like the same spirit of like, of that. And I hear that stuff and it grabs me. And like I said, being young, seeing Elvis, seeing Johnny Cash, I have a whole theory about like, I actually think the Beatles are a country band. I get into this argument with people all the time, but I'm like, at their root, they called it skiffle, was like the kind of music that they called it. But if you watch the Peter Jackson Get Back, the footage that they just remastered and all this stuff, dude, between every session, they're playing Hank Williams tunes and they're playing all this stuff.
Really?
And they loved it, man. And, you know, they do a lot of stuff tongue in cheek. The Rolling Stones, like, I got really into them, and I got into Graham Parsons, and I'm like, ooh, like, there's like a country thing happening here. And then bands like the Avett Brothers were coming up, and I was getting into some of that. You know, and before you know it, you're like, it's like coffee. Yeah. Right? I'm like, I'm doing stuff that has like country elements, so I'm having sugar and cream in my coffee. And then finally you just wake up one day and you're like, give me Merle, give me George Jones. I just want coffee black. Give me the straight country shit. And I've been on that for like a decade or so now.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I like you know, getting older because it's like, you know, everything becomes more refined. Like every day I enjoy different things and find myself, you know, my taste becomes more acquired to the things that I like. Sure. So I mean, like you doing this honky tonk and like, you know, involving these people, like, what are like how does it catch on? Like what are you doing for it to like, you know, kind of spread the word?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a few good sponsors like kind of around it that we like to rally around. We like to do like funny stuff on social media to try to get the word out. Yeah. There's people that have been coming since 2018 and they keep coming, and then the rest is just like shouting it from the mountaintops, you know.
I like don't understand, like there's things that I don't hear about until like, you know, recent times, and I'm like, how has this been going on for so long? Like I was just at a Studebaker Metals event with Anthony Badamo, and he was like talking about an event they did called Hot Mass. Okay. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that. Yeah.
Never heard of this in my life. And he's like, dude, it's wild shit, you should look to talk to someone about it. But it's like been around forever, and it's just like I don't there's things that like kind of get past the filter.
For sure.
You know, I take pride in like trying to, you know, have my eye on people that are like doing shit, but it's like sometimes there's just too many in Pittsburgh.
Well, hey man, Black Friday after Thanksgiving, come to the Honky Tonk at Spirit. It's on me.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This will be out before then, so we'll be able to rally around that.
That's great.
Now, what is you know, what's like, you know, where does the selling real estate come into play with this?
Oh man, that was just a thing where I was like, you know, looking for a little more autonomy and freedom. That's a very hard gig.
Yeah.
It's hard to. It attracts a certain. I won't say it attracts bad people, but like there's a. I mean, if you know, you go out, go look at some houses, and you tell me like I don't know. There's like a. It's like one rung above used car salesman kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we looked at like 9 houses before this one.
Yeah. So I don't want to be that guy. I'm not interested in like making it a full-time thing. To me, it's like I know a lot of people. I'm in a stage of life where you know people are buying first, maybe moving on to their second homes, and I just feel like I can help, and I have you know
connections,
an interest. Yeah, and I know Pittsburgh really well, so I feel comfortable. But to be honest, you know, I take on a few clients, and I'm looking out for them, and I'm not trying to like make that be the thing. Which props to anybody that can do it. I think you know. There's a lot of agents out there. Yeah. And
I know a lot of people that are like going to get their real estate license. So it's just like
I've learned a lot. I mean, even when you get your own house, you learn so much, and it helps you be a more informed consumer. I've been able to help some friends out. I've been able to
I like that.
You know, and what I really like about it lately is, you know, I've been involved with this handyman thing, and
yeah, where's that come from?
So this is just a friend of mine. He's like, you know, I think we like nobody can find a good handyman. And so what if we found them and, you know, tried to start a company and you know, took good care of them and took good care of the customers and showed up on time and didn't, you know, show up and have guys smoking weed and pissing in their bushes behind the house. Like, you know, it's a thing that everybody needs, and it's not hard to do well if you have the skills.
100%.
So what I find is that like a lot of sellers are looking to fix things before they sell their houses, and so, you know, it's been a nice dovetail with that. So you know, and I've learned a few things, how to be a little more handy myself. So
were you handy growing up? I wasn't that handy.
I wouldn't say I was handy. I'm a guy, like, you know, they say measure twice, cut once. I'm like, measure twice, realize you fucked up, cut it, see if you can figure it out, realize
buy another piece and do it
realize that you're arrogant, go back to Home Depot, like try to figure out where you went wrong.
You got to have those types of
measure
people, right?
again, cut, and then I got it.
Yeah. It's like I might take 4 times to do it, but I'll get it. I'll get it.
It's tough.
So where does the relationship with Tad come into play?
So I moved back from Nashville. I'm finding these Bindley hardware things. I'm trying to rock and roll. And one of the education nonprofits that I was working at in the Children's Museum called SLB Radio. They produce a morning show. And Tad and I actually used to go to different high schools and, like, you know, do some writing prompts with kids, some self-expression. And, yeah, man, he and I just... like, it was pretty quick where it was just like, man, this guy has my sense of humor. And, you know, I was always in my group of friends, like at the lunch table, I'm holding court. I got all the jokes. You know. Yeah. And it was just like, I'm trying to keep up with him. Yeah. You know, so it was just like, I think I met my match and then some. He's the funniest dude I know. And I just have a lot of fun coming up with him. Yeah,
the skits are, you know, really. Well, you know, I was outside smoking a heater. Like, I don't know, you guys. I think that everyone just loves Pittsburgh so much, and they realize people that are like really get the essence of Pittsburgh. If you get it, you get it,
and you don't have to be like. It'll be random people sometimes. They just get it, and it's just like real, recognize real on that. Like when somebody gets it, you tip your cap to them.
1,000%.
You're just like,
and it's like, you know, I'm not dragging anyone's name through the dirt, but like I don't really enjoy Pittsburgh Dad.
Yeah, I think he's, you know,
it's corporate.
I respect him. Yeah,
it feels corporate.
Yeah, I mean, I think he probably. you know, it's like there's usually one or two things in every bit where I'm like, oh, that's pretty good, you know, but like overall,
it's just like low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's not always for me.
But like I love the Leaves and the Ray Burzik thing, and like Tad is just like the best newscaster.
Morty Tennyson
is just like, you know, he just does you guys do a good job at it.
Well, I mean, sometimes like you're saying, sometimes the Pittsburgh, like the news cycle just gives you a gift.
Yeah, it gives you it.
Just lays
like the bird getting lost.
Oh, the bird getting lost.
Dude,
or
that
the
was
bridge falling down.
funny.
Or, you know, and, you know, the Steelers season will, you know, has so many ups and downs. And
yeah, it's good.
He'll text me or I'll call him and it's like, all right, here's what I'm thinking. And we'll punch through a Google Doc together. And,
love that.
Yeah, you're in traffic, you're late for your thing, and we're, you know, I always love the run and gun. The hype videos are the Steelers season hype
with
videos.
the Chicago Bulls theme song and stuff like that. That's so good.
So that's the one where it's just like
get your dick knocked.
Smash dick, full bush.
That's
dude. So those are the ones where I'm like, I've left a lot of those and I'm gonna be like, man, it's gonna be hard for me to find a job. You know, like I'm gonna be like, or this one's not gonna land, or we've taken it too far.
No, the employer's gonna be the one that's like, we gotta hire this guy.
Yeah, and that's the kind of city I want to live
100%.
in. Like, I actually have a friend who, you know, works in and around the Steelers, and he's actually told me that has circulated through the building.
I mean, I feel like
positivity.
It would have to, right? I mean, like, I feel like that gets around enough where, you know, it would have to circulate.
I think there's a chance that like Tomlin has seen it.
Yeah,
there's a healthy chance.
He'll pretend that he ain't for sure, but I guarantee it's moved around. Now, I really like the idea of you being like a writer and stuff like that. That's interesting to me. So it's like you know, like you spend time like writing like short stories, stuff like that.
Not as much as I should, but it's in there, and sometimes like you just write what you know. Like I've always been, my favorite writers are the ones that are just like writing about like normal shit.
Yeah,
like, I love John Updike. I love, like, you know, just these kind of a middle class American life is so full of, a normal life is like so full of drama and interesting people and like joy and sorrow, and like I'm really interested in capturing the characters in my life as I've known them, almost probably in a sense where you're writing it and you're like, this is actually just what happened.
Yeah.
And I'm actually just writing
you're not
what
trying.
happened, and I'm trying to like maybe shake it up in a snow globe in a way to maybe make it more interesting and serious, but it's also funny. I think there's an Irishness about that. Like they laugh at funerals. Like my grandmother would like tell a sad story and then like be like laughing through tears, and I feel like there's part of that in me, and a lot of that has to do, like the Tad stuff is a great example of, you know, if I think back of the Nashville days, even like I'm a serious artist, okay? I'm trying to be like John Prine. I'm trying to be like, and then I realized like, well, John Prine has like funny shit in his songs, and he's not afraid to like be funny. I think I like shied away from my like humorous side for a long time because I wanted to be like taken seriously.
Yeah.
As this like serious songwriter guy, and then I finally was just like, man, this is who I am. Like I caught up. Like,
yeah.
And I think when you can lean into that in your songwriting or your writing, like you're showing the whole picture of like what it is to be like an imperfect human. And
yeah.
Like there's a lot of drama and intrigue in that for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree completely. I was listening to you know, all the different, like just the Spotify playlist of all your stuff, and I mean, like you got good sounds on there.
Thanks, man.
It's very different. Like some of them are way different than the others.
Yeah, and that's the thing I always struggled with. Like even now, like
why is that a struggle though?
I just never feel like I think artists that make it get traction by honing in and being like, and doing that again and again and again and again, and if they're good, they can do it in a way that they reinvent. And I think it's not that I haven't tried to do that.
Yeah.
But like just the way my mind works and the way I am, it's like I think I have a little bit of like ADD when it comes to dialing in the sound. Like, you know, I have a version of me that wants to write songs that sound like Tom Petty. I have a version that wants to write shit that sounds like I'm Buck Owens in a
like that
Honky
Akeem
Tonk.
Boogie or whatever.
Yeah, that's like me trying to do
like Elvis.
Yeah, Fats Domino Elvis type of thing.
Like I'm listening to that and I'm like, this is a fucking bop.
Yeah.
Like,
thanks, man.
That's dope. And I think I saw that it was like in an article that was from seeing someone do a dance.
Yeah, so you know the Honky Tonk's all about dancing, and I remember talking about reading. Like akimbo is when you stand with your hands on your hips, and that was like a word that stuck with me from like reading a book and be like, I'm gonna look up what that is. Like, like the young lady stood akimbo by the bar. I'm like, what is that? Looked it up, and all it means is to stand with your hands on your hips. And like I kind of like saw this girl kind of like, she was cute and she was just kind of like doing this little wiggle dance with her hands on her hips, and I was like, she's doing the akimbo boogie, man. Or like, you know, they used to write songs that were like, that had a dance to go with them. Yeah. And I was like, that'd be fun to try to like
do the stanky leg.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Crank the Soldier Boy.
Yeah, 100%. I know that you probably spent some time with that song growing up.
Dude, I went to see Malcolm open up for Soldier Boy at the Ches Arena in Cheswick. He was selling tickets.
Ches Arena. I think it's a rite of passage. You've had to experience a show there.
Dude, the Ches Arena was sick. Yeah, he had a rap group with this guy named Brian, who still raps. Beat Up. Yeah. The Ill Spoken they were called, and they opened up for Soldier Boy.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I've had Beatty on here a few times.
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
It's interesting. You know, it's just a small world around
exactly,
there.
dude. That's Pittsburgh, man. We're the fucking best.
It's small enough to know everyone and be able to bike across the city.
Yeah.
But it's big enough that you could not know everyone if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know, dude. I love the network around here. It's just like everyone's just doing dope shit.
Yep.
If you're doing dope shit, other people that are doing dope shit want to watch you do dope shit and do whatever they can to do dope shit.
Yep.
And I just like want to be a part of that.
Me too.
I think that you're doing a great job at
Thanks,
it.
man. So are you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think that this is I'm glad that this happened whenever it happened.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad it happened when it happened. Now, what do you do whenever you know, like you're writing songs, like you write all these songs and like they are great songs.
Thank you.
What's like your process of writing? Like, is that like do you just get an idea and run with it, or are you like actively like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to spend 2 hours and try to write?
Yeah, it's never happened the same way twice, to be honest. Like I envy those songwriters that are like, I hunkered down and I wrote 50 songs for this album and we whittled it down to 12. Like, I don't think I've ever written more than 6 songs in a year. I think a good year I get 3. And then I try to think about things in terms of, it gets back to that social aspect we were talking about on sports teams. Like, I write to impress the guys that I play with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, if I could get them to go, you know, or some of the folks I record with. I've done some recording with a guy locally named Nate Campese, another guy named Jake Hanner, Dave Heideck, and like, you know, I'm like, I want to write something that's going to make them go,
yeah, you want their ears
I
to
love
perk.
this, you know, and like that to me is like when I've had, you know, magic in the studio, it's always been quick, and it's always been like those moments where I'm trying to impress my friends. Yeah,
I like it. That's pretty cool. I like that you wear a bunch of different hats. I like that all the songs that you write, like it's all a different journey. Like I don't know if I love you know, I don't know if I want to listen to a full project that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
so
when you're trying to sell something, they tell you to do that.
I know, but I mean, like,
that's
it's so crazy to think that that's just like the way it is. And, you know, talking to like Amico and Nate and Al from Charles's band, it's like hearing them like just talk about like, you know, their growth and like how it is. It's just fascinating because like, you know, you don't really like, you know, I feel like not a lot of people have an opportunity to just like talk to people about like how that really is, you know, kind of like morphing into like, you know, in air quotes, like a big band. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of fascinating to think about that, but I'm sure that like, you know, the bigger you get, the more people are like, all right, hone in on the sound.
Yeah,
like,
we
don't
want
get so
more
crazy.
of that. Like, what's the signature thing? Like, you know, and how do you, I think when you have a lot of success, like, you probably feel like you have to do that.
Yeah.
But then you're like, am I out of gas? Like,
yeah, but it's like, as a fan, as a listener, you're like, I never in my life expected Q Country Roads to like, that like anthem of a song, because he's usually like a different type of writer. And I know that that's just like a, one comparison compared to anything. But like, I brought it up with Al, like Tyler Childers' new album, like sounds wild as shit.
Yeah. I love it.
I loved it. Yeah. We bump it all the time.
Dude, I like it more than any of his. Like, I was always like a casual, like, I would listen to his stuff and I'd be like, all right, there's 3 songs on this record I really dig.
Yeah.
I love every song on that record.
Every single one.
Yeah.
And I remember whenever it came out, I'm like reading it and like people were just like, what is this?
Yeah.
This is garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Isn't that funny?
Don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
It ain't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. As a listener, I just like being surprised with shit like that. So whenever I was listening to your catalog, it's just like, bopping to these different vibes. And I don't know, it makes it exciting. It makes it fun to listen to.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it's interesting, the stuff that catches on is never the stuff that I thought it was.
What would you say your most popular stuff is?
I mean, everybody loves Three Rivers.
Yeah,
We're in
it's
Pittsburgh.
a good one.
There's a song called Strange Time that got a ton of play on WYEP. Another song called Future Trippin' that got a ton of play on WYEP. And it was just, those are tunes. Everybody loves a song called Jaywalkin' too, which I never play live, but that one, people come up to me and ask for that one. Yeah, man, it's nice to have to feel like people are recognizing it in whatever humble way. Like,
yeah, man. I get people walking up and like, I love the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, people do this to me while I'm
That's
standing with
great.
my wife, and it's like there's nothing I enjoy more than people just like enjoying me talking to other people.
Yep.
It's like, because I'm going to do it regardless. So
Yeah.
I did it for 4 years with no one listening.
I love it.
And whenever all these people listen now, it's like, I don't know, it just makes you want to keep doing it.
Yeah, and it makes you feel like, I think there's a specific thing about it, and it comes back to the authenticity of Pittsburgh. It's like, when you're famous in like a broad sense, right? Like, and you could walk down the street in Indianapolis or Buffalo and people would recognize you. I think that's a different thing. But when you're in your town and people are recognizing you and the podcast and shouting you out, it's got to be like not alienating. It has to be more like, oh, I feel like I know you. Like when people hit me up on the street and be like, Tad's videos. Like I instantly am like, I know this dude.
I know you're getting recognized for sure.
Oh, I get stopped. Like I'll be with my kids and people will be like, smash dick, full bush, let's fucking go. And I'm like, but like I was at a wedding recently and some dude came up to me and it was just like, I didn't have to, like I know you.
Yeah.
You know me.
I love it.
And like, isn't that the point of
That's what it
like,
is.
Art and expression is to like be known and feel known and have somebody go,
love that.
I know what you're talking about on that podcast, Chad. Like,
so good.
I know what you meant by that.
Or have you ever dabbled in any sort of like, painting or drawing or anything like that? Are you art in that way?
I have zero visual
I know, I'm terrible at it.
talents whatsoever. I have got into a little bit of collaging.
Okay, yeah.
When I was in Nashville, I had this friend, much older guy named Fred Kohler, who wrote a bunch of songs with Shel Silverstein, John Prine.
Wow.
Back in the 70s, and he was kind of like my songwriting mentor. And I was juiced up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go there, and we're gonna he's gonna help me write songs, and he did. But sometimes I would go there, and he would be cutting up these old Coronet magazines, which were like kind of like Reader's Digest, but they're printed on this nice paper.
Yeah.
And he'd be cutting up like that and a copy of Moby Dick and putting it in a Goodwill picture frame.
Love that.
And like, so I got into some of that as like, it was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And my son is really into coloring right now. And he's like churning out like 4 or 5.
How old?
He's 5.
Oh yeah,
and he's churning out like 4 or 5 things a day, and he's like taking it very seriously. And it could just be an age appropriate thing, but like I feel like I'm seeing a spark.
Just lean into it,
dude. He is so locked in and focused on it that I'm like, maybe like
lean into it.
I'm like, this is great. I never had that.
Yeah, I don't have kids. We don't ever plan on having kids. But like, if I did have a kid, I would absolutely lean into any sort of
I'm pumped that he's pumped about it.
Think about like our parents, like when we were growing up, like things were so foreign to them, like social media and things like that. It's like, that just like wasn't even a reality. So like, I can understand my parents like not leaning into it whenever I'm like doing zombie makeup, whenever I'm like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm like, Mom, I want to go to do special effects. And she's like, You ain't.
Yeah.
You got to go do something like engineering.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Special effects.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, Tom Savini's down there in Monessen. I could go sit. I could go work with him.
Yeah.
But she's just like, go get a secure job.
Yeah.
But it's like, back then, and granted, she was probably right for sure. But like back then, there was interest that like I had that like, could have leaned into it.
Right.
But it just wasn't that time. Nowadays, people were just, you got a business on your phone.
Dude, anything that you can be focused on apart from that, I think is going to be really important. Not just for young people coming up in the world, but like for myself. Like you're talking about being able to sit down and read.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hard to do. I used to do it all the time. I can't do it as much, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
I'm in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, hey, God bless it. Yeah, for sure.
It's tough, but it's like so I hope that that's something I definitely want to encourage for sure.
So as far as like what you guys are playing at the Honky Tonk, this random thing that just popped in my head.
Sure.
You said you're playing like all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah.
How do you build a playlist like that? And like how many songs are you playing a night?
So we have a database of about 500 songs right now.
Holy shit.
And
at any point you guys could just like, you could say play this and you guys could all play it
within a degree of
are you pretty mean guitar
good.
Player?
No. I am. I don't play above the 5th fret.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I play chords.
Power
and I
chords?
Sing. I mean, I play the chords, and I can do a few noodles here and there. But my real gift is understanding what people are good at and producing in the sense of like I know where to put people, in positions to succeed and really be like a front man in like the traditional sense and kind of produce and organize an aesthetic and a vibe. I like to think I have a really good sense. It comes back to the Burning LimeWire CDs. Like we make set lists, and I'm notorious for like, okay, we make the set list about 40 songs and they go in order, right? And a lot of bands, you play what's on the set list.
Yeah.
I'm notorious for pissing everybody off and going, there's we just play one and people are dancing and we got them out there and there's a slow one next and I'm going, no, go to this one.
Yeah.
And like, I'm always right.
Yeah. That's
I'm always fucking right. I swear. That's like my one true like skill is actually knowing what people want to hear musically in the moment.
I feel like that's
with a crowd.
That's one of the big parts of it, right? You got to be able to recognize that.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, you said you're having one after Black Friday?
On Black Friday, November 28th at Spirit Hall, Lawrenceville.
And tickets are on sale now?
Tickets are on sale. And we're going to have, dance the Thanksgiving blues away, right?
And you guys, I mean, you just have like these like group of people that you just like interchangeable pieces that pull in and out.
It's a killer house band that has a lot of continuity. There's a few movable parts.
I saw had a couple different like steel players coming in.
Yeah, like guys like Amico come sit in. Fiddle player jump in there sometimes. It's really been a great calling card to like meet musicians to do other stuff with too.
Hell yeah.
Is to like, we met at the Honky Tonk. We did that gig, and then, maybe a band is born out of it. I've had people that are married now that are like, we met at the Honky Tonk.
That's awesome.
Like wanting it to be this. It's about the show and it's about what's happening on stage, but the show is the crowd too.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the pageantry and the getting dressed up and the boots and the.
Yeah, you always look good.
Oh, thanks,
You
man.
do look good.
Yeah.
Where do you buy all that shit?
Man, some of it.
You ever been to Lowry's in Washington?
I've been to Lowry's, yeah. Lowry's a good spot. Sometimes, generally speaking, I don't have a good fashion sense.
You don't think so? I feel like every picture I see of you, you're like dressed to the nines.
Thanks, man.
Good.
I appreciate that. I mean, with the stage clothes, I'm like, I try to like, get cool shit and have a vibe.
Yeah,
but
you gotta have a vibe with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's. So,
come in there wearing a Jack Lambert jersey.
You can't be in there wearing your old
camo cargos.
Wearing that old Navy waffle shirt that you've been wearing since '09.
Kennywood employee shirt.
That ain't gonna fly, dude. But that to me, and country and hip hop have always had this like flirtation, and now I feel like it's truly arrived with Morgan Wallen and Kane Brown and these guys, and But from a philosophical perspective, something that I think has always, I grew up in the city, like hip hop was the thing adjacent to like all these other things that we're getting interested in. I love, and in country music history, it's like these people, Dolly Parton, dirt poor, Buck Owens, dirt poor. they catch on, they get big, and these producers and tastemakers are telling them, okay, we're going to put you on TV. We want you to be barefoot in overalls, leaning into the I'm a poor hillbilly type of thing. And they were like, nah, I'm going to show up rhinestones, diamonds, with a Cadillac with the big horns on it, and I'm going to play a guitar with my name on it. And to me, the only thing that I think of there, it's like, 50 Cent or like these rappers coming up and being like,
you're peacocking.
The struggle, yes, the struggle and the peacock element and the pageantry, and that actually being a part of what people are responding to.
Yeah,
like, what is the bling about as a rapper? What is the shiny suit about? It's like people bought a ticket. They want to see the character. They don't. So like something clicked for me there where I was like, I actually don't. I'm Jon Bindley, the character at the Honky Tonk.
Yeah, you punch it up a little bit.
Punch it up, man. They bought a ticket.
I would feel disappointed if I walked in there and you're just like, wearing your regular ass shit.
No way. I get a little more twang in the voice, and it's very good to see you. And and it's like,
you got a good voice. Like your voice is wild.
Thank you.
Some of them songs where you got like the real twang on it, I'm like, damn, that sounds like.
Thanks, man. Yeah,
you do a good job at handing it in.
It's acting.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be good at it. I mean, look at half these people that are doing it.
Yeah.
What is like, what's like your performance on stage? Like, were you ever like a nervous person?
Not at all. And my granddad was a tap dancer and like a singer. He's actually has a brief cameo in Striking Distance.
No shit.
So if the HJ Hines with the fish, Jon Bindley doesn't get
you. If that didn't good.
If you ask me for my Pittsburgh card, dude, my granddad's in Striking Distance.
That's unreal.
But he, I think I probably genetically got a little bit of that from him. And I don't know. I think I would have benefited from having a little bit more nerves, stage fright, because it probably makes you prepare a little bit when you're young and shit. But I was always just like a get out there.
Did you ever do like plays in high school?
They pushed me into some. I was too cool for a lot of stuff coming up.
I always regret not doing it.
Yeah, I do too, because I think I would have done well. It would have
been so fun.
Yeah.
Nowadays I'm like, man, it would have been so fun to do all that shit.
Yeah, I was afraid to. It was a lot to walk through the halls of my high school with a guitar.
Yeah.
And I think that was about all I could tolerate. I wasn't ready to fully go into
fully dive into it. I always said that if I would have read Harry Potter as like an elementary school kid, I probably fully would have changed the trajectory of my life. Because I just read them the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I never read them, but I've always been a big fan of the movies. But I was in the world for like 2.5 months, man. And I was like, if I would have read this shit, like I would have 1,000,000% would have probably just been like, I still was playing Magic cards and shit like that, but it would have been a different direction. Right. I would have probably been an anime kid.
Been out there with it.
Yeah, I would have just been in there, leaned into it. But instead, here I am. Yeah. So, I mean, whatever happened, happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we got the Honky Tonk Black Friday, and, you think there's anything else as far as, like, your story before we get to the ending segment? I know you got a lot of shit, but it's like it's hard to like sum up everyone's life. And,
I know it is, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, your work. Like, are you working on a project now? I know you dropped a single in April.
Yeah, I mean, the single we dropped was called "Hammer on My Heart." Appropriate name again there with the hardware thing, and I was sort of going for the traditional vibe. I'm starting to feel the itch. I feel like I'm rounding the corner into a season of maybe trying to record some new music. In a larger sense. It's tough because you get into a space where like the Honky Tonk is making some money and getting some momentum, and it's like you want to keep rolling and growing that in a way that feels good, and there's always an issue, there's always something you have to that's demanding your attention, and the performer in me gets very satisfied, but I don't know that I have felt like an artist as much. There's an artistry to doing those things, but I think you get into performer mode, you get into hustle mode, and the artist in me has sort of been like quieted lately, so I'm hoping to get back in touch with that. because
It makes sense, though.
yeah, you know, you're just in a mode
Gotta
of
strike while the iron's hot.
you're entertaining,
Yeah.
you know, and art can be entertaining, and you know, but I think if I'm honest with myself, like I probably need to do some reflecting and maybe dig deep, hopefully come up with something that's meaningful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing before we get into the ending
Sure.
segment. You guys do a podcast, I Seen Dude.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious to know, like, how did you get into that world? You said you teach, like, some podcast stuff and some
Yeah,
radio
well, we
stuff.
dabbled in that, and you know, I'm not a super tech guy. This is about it. Like this, I'd probably fuck this up. So Tad and I, after a couple of our videos became big hits, we were approached by the Bet Rivers Network. And,
I forgot Yinz did
yeah,
that.
and we had a podcast for about 2 years on the Bet Rivers Network. They even paid us, which I can't believe. And it was fun. And then they stopped paying us, and so we stopped doing it. We didn't do it for a year. And then I was like, man, I miss doing this. And he was like, I miss doing it too. What if we did it and didn't make any money?
Yeah.
And so now we're back to doing it for love of the game.
It's the best way to do it.
Dude, and there's a technical issue every show that we're like, fuck, we're not going to figure this out.
Are Yinz in person doing this?
Yeah, we do it together wherever we can. And yeah, we should probably get you on for a consult at some point. Show us what you're working with. You know, it's but we're cobbling episodes together, and you know, I think a small but mighty following. Like, you know, I laugh so hard every time we do it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's reason enough. And when people respond, it's even better.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, people that want to listen to that, I See
Yeah.
Dude, find it wherever you can get podcasts,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But, I mean, like, besides all this stuff, like, what do you do for fun? Like, what do you do for your mental health?
Yeah, I like to exercise. I like to run, hit the weights a little bit, get the, you know, try to, you know, look good, play good, feel good, all that stuff. You know, really the most fun thing is when I can see my kids have fun and have fun with them. I have a son and a daughter, and they are discovering the world. You mentioned Harry Potter. They're getting into some of that now.
Wow.
You know, being a dad's really hard, and it's also really fun.
Yeah.
And seeing them have fun is what it's all about.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So the ending segment that I do with everyone is an ending segment called Desert Island Questions.
Okay. Hell yeah. Ooh,
I'm excited about this.
dude, you were one tap and you got to see.
Dude, I had some. I didn't
You
play
know
the
what you're
music for
doing,
you in the
cuz.
beginning.
Yeah.
So, okay, Desert Island Questions. Whenever
Okay.
I have each guest 3 categories. Jesus, I had to stroke there real quick. Desert Island Questions. Whenever I give each guest 3 categories to take with them on a desert island and use until they starve to death and die. First category is movies.
Okay.
So you get that TV right back there, and you get 3 movies with you. You're stranded on a desert island. What would
Okay.
the 3 movies be that you'd watch for the rest of your life?
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Been picked on here many times.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
about as good as it gets.
dude, epic. And let's see, what else am I gonna pick? What's like, you need comfort food, right? Because you're not getting off this island,
Yeah.
so you just want to watch the things that make you feel good. Probably Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. That's always good.
Yeah. And God, I feel like I'm so cliche. You know what? I would probably pick something that I've like never seen, just so I could have one experience of something new, right? Because
Hell
I'm on
yeah.
this island for a while.
I've never seen any of the Godfather movies.
Oh,
and
those are great.
People were like, what?
Yeah.
What? You know, I'm a big movie guy, so I would just take all those.
Yeah, maybe like one of the I've never seen Casablanca, so
One of them, like, you know,
Yeah.
you need to see those.
yeah, dude, I'll bring Casablanca on that
Yeah.
island for sure, because people say it's real good.
Yeah.
so I'll get an understanding of that. Yeah.
Those are good answers.
Yeah,
That's like
sure.
that's like a good 3. Good 3. That's a different vibe, but
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so second category is 3 books.
All right. Ooh.
Curious about this.
Yeah. A book by Thornton Wilder called The Eighth Day.
What's that about?
It's about a guy who is wrongfully accused of murder in a coal mining town,
Oh, wow.
and sort of his lineage from there on out. His story ends, and it gets into the
Pretty good.
Great, yeah.
Eighth Day.
If you liked East of Eden, you would like this.
Okay.
Yeah, Thornton Wilder. He also wrote that. It's like a novella called "The Bridge of San Luis Rey."
Okay.
Which is like probably not the first, but among the first most popular. Movies that start with like a catastrophic event and then work backwards from that. This starts with the collapse of a bridge and works backwards from there.
Oh.
So he wrote that as well. But he wrote this book called The Eighth Day that really rocked me pretty good. All the King's Men by Robert Penn Warren is a great book about like political machine and kind of like how the world works a little bit, but it's also written in a very like kind of poetic in and out of, almost like a dreamlike state at certain points. And I got to pick a Steinbeck, so I'd probably go his very last novel, The Winter of Our Discontent.
What's that about?
Beautiful book. It's about like this regular guy. He works in a grocery store, and like he has these opportunities to kind of like make decisions. That
don't spoil it.
Yeah,
I'll get into it.
It feels like he should. Or
The Winter of Discontent.
The Winter of Our Discontent.
Of Our Discontent.
Yeah, which is like I think a quote from a Shakespeare play.
What is like? Do you have like a something that you were younger? Like, how did you get into reading?
My grandmother was like big into. She had books everywhere, and just like constantly giving you books and making you read and kind of telling me that I was a poet all the time, even before I'm like, that's lame. I'm actually going to be a football player. She's like, yeah, go ahead. She forced me to go to a lot of poetry readings.
Oh, cool.
With this guy named Samuel Hazo, who's a local Pittsburgh poet. He's in his 90s. He's actually in the movie we made about Bindley Hardware Company, which you can watch for free on YouTube. It's called Everything in Hardware.
Oh, wow.
Samuel Hazo has a poem about hardware stores, which is just another one of those.
I'm going to throw it on. Half hour?
Dude, half hour.
I'll throw it on.
28 minutes, man.
Yeah, come on. I usually bring everyone, it's Halloween time, but I usually got Kennywood Memories playing on that TV when people come in.
Yeah.
I'm about to switch it up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
My grandma for sure. And then when I was in college, man, I did not have, I was friendly. I made some friends but I was not, I worked and I was not really at Duquesne, I was not really interested in like socializing a ton. Like I was very much my hair was very long. I went to class and I would go to the library, find a book and just like, dude, I read voraciously and, apologies to Duquesne, but like sometimes I'd love a book so much that I read that I was like, I have to have this one.
Yeah.
You ever have that experience where I'm like, so like I would cop one, just like sneak it out. Like I figure, they got like 80 grand out of me.
Missing it.
Yeah. I could take this copy of an Erskine Caldwell book.
Yeah. That's good. Reading, dude, it's wild. I can't believe that I just like, I just didn't care about it whenever I was younger.
Yeah. Well,
that's all I want to do now.
Yeah. You find that thing, it's like J.D. Salinger was like a big one when I was young too, that opened a lot of doors. Like you read The Catcher in the Rye and you go, oh, okay. This is kind of cool. It's kind of edgy, or like
I've never read all these.
Yeah, or
I got to read all these.
Brave New World was one in high school that we had to read, like Aldous Huxley and the dystopian thing.
Yeah, our dystopian was Watership Down.
Okay,
you ever read that?
No,
it's wild.
Yeah,
it's just about a colony of rabbits, but it's like your typical political.
I'll have to check that out,
dude. It's the wildest book ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think now that I'm like, a little bit older, I could like slow my mind down enough where I could like, it's nice to be able to get away, but put your phone down and I could just like, kind of lock in and read.
Feels great.
It does feel great. Okay. Third category is 3 CDs.
All right. So I'm going to need something that can like get me hyped, right? Like, workout jams, right? Something like that. So like, maybe one of those early, no, dude, Get Rich or Die Trying.
All day.
Get Rich, that whole album.
Yep.
Front to back.
I remember the first time I ever listened to Wanksta.
Dude.
And like, just that beat, like I was just like, wow, I need a bulletproof vest.
Fantastic. All right. Then maybe like, Probably like a Dylan, like Blood on the Tracks or something.
Okay.
Something that I can get in my feelings about, get introspective.
What's the first CD you ever bought?
So the Record Exchange in Squirrel Hill, you could get like a CD, like a used one for like $3 or $4. I think I was up there. I definitely bought a Kid Rock CD, the one with Cowboy and Ball with the Ball on it.
Why wouldn't you? Everyone had that.
Yeah. Maybe Weezer Blue Album was pretty early, but I think if I'm, that would be the cool answer, but it wouldn't be truthful. I think it would probably be either that Kid Rock one or like.
My first one ever was Limp Bizkit Nookie.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember talking to my dad at Circuit City. My brother was there, and he picked. I think he picked Snoop Dogg, I want to say. Or no, he picked Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Nice.
And then I picked that up. My dad was like, parental advisory. And I was like, come on.
Oh, it just makes you want it more.
I'm going to listen to what Mac's getting anyway.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, whatever. Yeah. And then I remember listening. And I'm like, all right, I'm Fred Durst now.
Dude, maybe the Chumbawamba CD.
That was a good one.
Purple head on it.
Oh, yeah, with the green.
Yeah. Hanson, that first Hanson album.
Mbop.
Yeah,
we lived in a good time.
Yeah,
we lived in a good time.
Yeah,
I remember buying it all, like all the good stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like genres weren't a thing.
I know.
Just like it was either cool shit or what. Like
you were just like walking into FYE
albums.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You just walk into FYE and you're like, this is the album cover. You're like, I'm gonna buy this. I don't even know if I like it. I still have albums in that CD case that I've never listened to because I've only bought them because of the album cover. But classic stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Did you give me a third one, right?
Yeah, we'll go. What'd I say? What 3 CDs am I bringing? Yeah, maybe like a Rolling Stones, like maybe Exile on Main Street. I'd probably go with.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, third to last question is the death row meal. Appetizer, a main course, and a dessert.
Okay. Appetizer, maybe like some type of oyster situation. I like a seafood vibe.
Yeah.
You got to give me a steak.
Yeah, that's the most picked answer.
Yeah. Dessert. I like a cheesecake.
That's the most picked answer.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I swear to God, everyone picks cheesecake.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's like I don't hate cheesecake at all, but that's never my first pick.
Yeah.
Everyone picks cheesecake.
Dude, plain ass vanilla cheesecake.
100%.
Some drizzle, some strawberries.
I should go back and document how many people have done it because that's the most picked. And for appetizer, what do you think the most picked appetizer is?
Maybe like some wings or something?
Fucking cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks.
Everyone picks cheese sticks, dude. And it like blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like I ask 315 people and everyone's just like, yeah, cheese sticks.
Cheese sticks all the way.
Okay. Second to last question. Actually, I'm curious. Are you a foodie guy?
I like a good, I like
What's
an
like
experience.
a restaurant you like going to around here?
I like the Italian places. Tambellini's in Highland Park is great. I still haven't been to Alla Familia in the West End.
I've never been there either. I hear it's overrated, but I got to try it.
I like an Italian. I like an old school Italian vibe. Tambellini's does that really well. That'd probably be my go-to.
That's
I have
good.
A friend that works at Poulet Bleu, but I haven't been there.
I haven't been there either. I've just been randomly seeing it popping up on my shit.
Everybody's talking about this Fat Fisk.
Oh yeah, it's
the Bloomfield spot where we do the Honky Tonk is like right behind there.
Man,
so I might have to sneak in there.
Yeah, they have my appetizer on my death row meal would probably be their Danish trout caviar. They give you it in like a little martini glass, and it's like creme fraiche with caviar and house made chips. And it's unreal. All their stuff is great. But
hit that up.
Yeah, it's a good stuff. You better get in line because it's like a month and a half.
Yeah, all right.
Now that they got like a James Beard nomination, you can't even get in the joint.
Yeah, dude, James Beard got him.
Yeah, he got him. Okay, so second to last question is: you're getting ready to go on a road trip. You go into a gas station. Your snack of choice. What is it?
I'm definitely gonna have to get some trail mix. And this always gets me, man. There is no, like, 1 out of every 5 gas stations you stop at, I want a cold iced coffee with nothing in it.
Yeah, they don't do it.
You can never find that. It's always got like 1,000, like, and I'm not like a crazy health nut or anything.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, dude,
I don't want
wanna-
48 grams of sugar in
If
my
I bang
shit.
that, I'm gonna crash.
Yeah.
Like I just need some straight caffeine.
Remember them Starbucks ones that were in the tall boy bottles
Yeah.
that were just like, it was just iced coffee?
Dude, that's all I want.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you'll find it. I almost feel like if I see it, I have to just buy it, even if I don't want it. Just
It all
for the,
sucks anyway.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Coffee, you a big coffee guy?
I have my coffee every morning.
I like coffee.
Yeah, I like an espresso now and again.
Yeah. But it's like you said, if I forget my coffee, or sometimes I'll forget it on the counter, you can't go in anywhere and just get an iced coffee.
That's all I want.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. You could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead. Who would it be and why?
Does everybody say Jesus? What does everybody say?
People have said
what are the popular
Jesus.
answers?
I mean, people have said Jesus. I've had Democratic people say Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
I've had Randy Marsh be picked on here.
I thought you were going to say Randy Moss.
Randy Moss was picked on here.
I would, because we were talking about it earlier, I'd kind of like to talk to that Jon Bindley.
I thought you would say that answer.
Yeah.
But that would be. How cool would that be?
Yeah,
right?
just be like, first figure out because I'm making that movie and the whole time I'm like, oh man, was this guy a jag-off?
Yeah.
It just didn't seem, maybe it's my bias, but it just didn't seem like it.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
And I wonder, we get our hair color and our eye color, but is there something about us that is, we're nature, we're nurture, but is there something about us that's just when they do it in the movies, or in the TV shows where it's you go back in time and it's the character is just that played by that same actor in that era's clothing. Probably not that on the nose, but there's probably something to that.
Yeah. Do you found pictures of him?
Yeah, some I guess they were old photographs, a few of staged
That's sick.
Yeah, a couple pictures.
You bearing any resemblance?
No, not really. But all the pictures, he's pretty old in those. Okay. So we'll see. If I'm blessed to make it to old age, come back on the pod and we'll
have to revisit this again. No, this was great. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, you do a great job, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I'm glad we were able to make this happen for sure.
Yeah.
I don't have shit going on Black Friday this time.
Bring all your friends. It's on me.
We'll definitely make our way down there. I'm trying to line dance.
Hell yeah.
I gotta link up with that 412 step.
They'll get you going.
Yeah, I do. That would be. I feel like that would be a good answer or a good guest.
100%. If I could get Shane and Ken on here for you, you would love them. Great guys.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get going, tell everyone where they could find your music, where they could buy tickets to the Honky Tonk. The whole
Sure.
deal.
Yeah. If you look up Pittsburgh Honky Tonk or follow us on Instagram at Honky Tonk PGH, you can check out all the upcoming shows we got here now to the end of the year. And if you want to check out some of my music, you can look that up at Bindley Hardware Co. That's BINDLEY. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity and your hospitality, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Everyone else that's listening, appreciate Yinz as usual. Each and every week, we're back with another great guest doing great things for the city. Thank you for listening. Call you right back.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
It was awesome, dude.
I mean, a really great conversation. Fascinating dude.
Yeah.
I mean,